Uh, hey
Mm,
yo, hey yo, hey yo.
mm.
This is Brothers Talking Shit podcast, episode 114. If you don't know, which is fucking crazy, after 104 episodes, who I am, you tripping, man. But for those who don't know, I'm the flesh man. I'm the fat boy. Still calling them broadish. And I'm still your Huckleberry. I seen somebody out there with their shit talking about some I'm your Huckleberry too. Like, bro, stop.
You've been somebody
Relax.
Huckleberry for
Stop it.
about 20 years now. I ain't gonna
Stop
hold
it,
you.
bro.
You've
Stop it.
been
I've
you've
been
been a
Huckleberry for
Huckleberry
a
for
long
a
time,
long
bro.
time, long time. This
Thank
is
you.
That's
fact.
yours.
Appreciate it. Appreciate
That's
it.
This is fact.
yours. That's
Appreciate that.
yours.
Yeah,
We
that's
can
fact.
fact check that.
Yeah, we can definitely get that. And we got references too. We got references,
Right. We
old
do. We
references.
do.
Yeah. It's recorded. Yeah, the revolution was televised. I'm Rel, aka Iceberg Shorty, aka the King of Controversial Comments. I said what I said. I'm at where I'm at. Don't hit me unless you try and cut the check. And I stay rich. Jip.
Uh,
Need that. I'm gonna need that. Hey man, you know what it is, your homie boy Jude, aka the Tron God, aka Juice, you know what I'm saying? If the shit don't shake, just know I ain't coming.
Mm.
Man, I'm really ready to podcast, you know what I'm saying? Doing what I do, feeling real good on this gas. Mm-hmm.
What's good? It's your boy, Big Belly Rude Boy Jay. You got two choices. You can barbecue or mildew. You can hope or blow up. You fuck with us, you subject to spoil, and that's what I'm talking about today.
Look at
Oh. Oh.
uh,
Pimping.
hold up.
Pimp talk.
Pimpin', man.
Talk your
Pimpin'.
talk your talk, King. Where you at though?
Yeah.
You gotta come with it now, cool.
Oh,
You
right
gotta
on
come with it
time.
now, cool.
Right on time, cool.
My
Let's go,
bad,
baby.
fellas.
No, let's go. We in. It's on you.
I got to come in and announce myself.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
on
come
you.
on.
Oh,
It's
my
on
bad. It's
you.
cool.
Yeah.
It's cool, Mike, aka Doctor Mike, aka the People's Podiatrist, also known as your favorite foot doctor. And we coming right now. We some earth shakers.
Mm,
What?
We some 40-acre takers,
True
yeah,
indeed.
take that.
and we some generational curse breakers.
Breaking shit.
Oh, yes, sir.
We
Yes,
coming
sir.
to you from the prophetic podcast because we be knowing, and
Yes,
we
sir.
just some brothers talking some shh.
With your cool ass.
Ew. My apologies, fellas.
No
You
problem,
You
no
good.
right.
problem.
You on
You was
time.
right on time. I mean,
You
literally,
on
Jay
time,
just
brother.
stopped. That's why I said you got to go. You know what I'm saying?
Yo,
Right.
real talk, yo. I was sitting here with my wife talking, man. We was having a conversation earlier today. And matter of fact, it might have been over the weekend, just conversations. And it's just like that general curse breaker shit is so real and so true. The prophetic podcast shit is so real, but the generational curse breaking is so important, man. Like, and that's like one of the things I like live by, just trying to break curses of generations of stuff that my family's been through, and my kids not inherit that and not be a part of that, and not know what that's like. And that shit just means so much to me. You feel what I'm saying? Those ain't just words. Like that shit really, really.
Resonates.
Yes, yes, definitely, definitely.
I got you, my brother.
How y'all feeling today, man?
I'm feeling awesome.
Well, listen, let me tell the world something. Now, usually, right? You might not. You usually don't catch me in a hat. So usually, if you catch me in a hat, it's because maybe I missed a week at the barbershop or something. So the hair ain't looking right. But this ain't got nothing to do with the hair, baby. This got something to do with that championship last night that my boys went out here and captured the Lakers, winning the 6 instead of 5. I said 5. Y'all, so, ain't nobody say 6. I think everybody said less than.
I said full.
I said 5. I think Jordan said 2 and 3.5 or some shit.
We said three.
Uh,
We said 3.5 after the first win.
right. So, how do y'all feel about last night? The whole experience as far as basketball coming back, but how does the championship thing feel?
Let me go first. Let me
You,
go
you know,
first. Um,
Go ahead, bro.
I'm a diehard Laker fan. If you know me, you know that I'm ride or die for the Lakers. So before I start this, rest in peace to Kobe Bean Bryant. Right, that championship last night meant so much for me as a Laker fan. It was impactful. LeBron got his shit off. I'm gonna let somebody else talk about that because I don't want to steal the whole segment. But for me, as a diehard Laker fan that bleed purple and gold, if you come to my house, you're gonna see purple and black, purple and gold everywhere. I got a Kobe Bryant sign right in front of me. And shout out to the Lakers for winning their 17th NBA championship. Tied with the Boston Celtics. No more, they got more than us. We tied, and guess what? We're gonna break that tie next year. LA, shout out. LA.
Man, it made me proud, man. You know, being, as Rel said, I'm purple and gold. You know what I'm saying, in my house. So no matter if it's Baltimore or if it's LA, you know, that's in those veins that I got right here. So it was a happy, sad moment, you know, for me, because it's like, damn, like they got their 17, but then Bean can't be there, right? And then I seen Jeannie bust, and I was like, yo, she can get it. So that was that. You know, that I was like sitting there looking at it, like, yo, Jeannie looking kind of good right now. So I'm happy. You know, it was a very victorious weekend. You know, for the purple and gold. So it made me nothing but happy.
I'm an ex-Rockets fan. I'm borderline Texans because they fired Bill O'Brien, praise God. At the end of the day, congratulations. I ain't gonna be a hater, man. I actually wanted to see LeBron do it, man. I think this is very big for him to have this is third team he's won a championship with. Have we seen this? So, man, like, really, the hater in me, because I'm a Rockets fan, you know, at the heart, I hate the Lakers, but man, the lover in me is happy for LeBron, happy for Dwight Howard, happy, you know what I'm saying, for AD, you know what I'm saying, just happy that these guys, you know, got a championship. You know, this is definitely I think redemption for Dwight, and I think for LeBron, this is just solidifying him as a great NBA basketball player and athlete. So congratulations to the Lakers, man.
Terrell knew where I was gonna go with this, because anybody that even knows me, especially at a point, will understand this story. That after I finished college, I worked for a few years before I decided to go back to school, and I got accepted to podiatry school. And this was 2001 that I went back and went away to school, and it was in Cleveland, Ohio. So back in 2001, you start to hear rumblings of some guy who was a high school basketball player who was a junior in high school at the time. And he was so good that Shaq and all the ball players that was coming in to see the Cleveland Cavaliers play would stop by, and the crowds grew bigger. And so they could no longer hold the gym at his high school, and they used to play at Cleveland State. So we're talking about a 15-minute, you know, ride at max from where I was staying at the time, at a part of town where it literally wasn't shit else to do. I'm not even making it up. Like the area called the Flats that people remember was not popping like that pre-LeBron James. It had kind of gone down. It had gone the way of many of an industrial city, like your Baltimore's, like your old steel towns that used to get money off a certain way, and then it changed. So shit was down. But that certain individual was LeBron James, right? So you go to these high school games at Cleveland State, and the gym sold out. It's raucous in there. It's live. This is pre-Instagram and all of this shit as well. So like social media as we know it. But then you start to hear this dude, the chosen one, and all this stuff. He get a Hummer. He copped a jersey. It's hot in Cleveland at this time, right? Then he get chosen by the Cleveland Cavaliers. I mean, we had a friend who worked for the Cleveland Plain Dealer. We was getting free tickets to Gund Arena. We was literally in the building, right, as LeBron was maturing through the NBA. And the most important thing I used to always say, if you'd have gave Dr. Mike $100 when I was in college, I would have fucked that up, flat out. Okay, this dude had $100 million as an 18-year-old, and you barely hear scandal, you barely hear dirt. The most you hear is maybe his mama acting up, and she ain't acted up in a decade. Respect to Gloria James. But so anybody that understand, the only two things I left with Cleveland for was my fandom for LeBron James and my degree. So everywhere he went, flat out from then, I was a fan. This is no different. I didn't mean to go on no extended rant, but I wanted to go back. This is dating the whole, this is like 19 years worth of fandom because I seen a dude shooting in the gym as a junior in high school. It's inspiring to not see any major hiccups and missteps because I certainly couldn't have my life as is in the spotlight from age 16 to now. I could no way have lived it in the way that he's done. Shout out, then the fucking on the court stuff matters. Shout out, do it for Bean. I'm finished, man. But shout out to LeBron James. They defaced the man mural. Nobody want to bring that up several times. LA mural was defaced in the city of LA when he first signed there. They didn't believe the fucking hype. 18 months later, the fucking streets is turned over pandemonium. This dude is as real as it gets. He took Cleveland from the pits of where they were, changed the economy in Cleveland, and revitalized the city. He bought the new guy, the new owner there, who then spent money putting casinos in Cleveland, all because of the LeBron James effect. When he left, the economy went back down. That's the reason why these restaurant owners and all of them owners were so mad at him. It wasn't because of the fucking basketball. It's because the money left. When he came back, the money came back. That's why the owner hopped on a plane and said, hey, whatever you want, whatever you need. So this dude is more than a phenomenon everywhere he go. Shout out to the Lakers. Shout out to LeBron James. Shout out to everybody else, the champs, baby.
Hey, cool. You make me want to go be a Laker fan. God damn. That was a fucking...
Hey, yo.
Shit.
I'm a diehard to the grave Lakers fan, dog. Like, period. I'm talking about the rough times. Kobe towards the end of his, I mean, I go back way further than Kobe, but you know, I don't like the bandwagon shit. You feel what I'm saying? Like Kobe getting hurt, D'Angelo Russell, Lonzo Ball, Brandon Ingram, Julius Randle, Nick Young being on the team, Ed Davis being on the team. I'm talking about some ugly seasons.
Smush Park.
Ugly. You get what I'm saying? Well, Smush was before Kobe got the second set of. I'm thinking about after Kobe got them second two titles and what it was like. You get what I'm saying?
Shannon Brown.
Well, Shannon Brown was before that. He was in that first them chips too. But I'm talking about like after that. I'm talking about like, damn, I can't think of the
past 10 years.
Right. Just being hard, man, being rough. Seeing the Anthony Davis trade go down. Seeing everybody see what the Clippers did, and that movement, and Leonard going there, and them getting Paul George, and then us barely getting Green, and then us missing out on the likes of Patrick Beverly, us missing out on Morris, the other Morris brother, Marcus didn't want to come to LA, and it was the Clippers going to get the Lakers out of here. If anything, the Bucks is nice, and the Bucks is going to do this, and nobody had the Lakers winning it. You get what I'm saying? And you know, it was a long season, and you know all the things that happen, and you know you can't control who you play, but you know it's good to see. I think the NBA is a different NBA when the Lakers are at the top. You know, and it's going to be interesting to see how these next couple seasons go. But I mean, when you look at the combination of LeBron James and Anthony Davis, when you look at the contributions that Dwight Howard putting his ego to the side, not even playing in some games, and not pouting on the sideline. You know, we talking about the game 6, him starting, him taking the starting spot from McGee, and then him starting, and then the last game, them taking him out the game and putting Caruso in. Caruso being ready to play. Danny Green. Hold on, I ain't get the Rondo yet. Danny Green getting threats because of the Game 5 miss to him and his fiance.
Oh, there you go.
I mean, he was right. Playoff Rondo, no, that don't exist. We talking about championship Rondo. Came out strong Game 6. Came out, took the game over. You know, really, really It ain't no playoff Rondo. It's championship Rondo. You
Who he
know,
dropped 19?
crazy. Caldwell Pope, man. Listen, they gave him them first 2 years he was with the LA. They was paying him $20 million a year. I was looking like, what the hell is they paying him for? But talking about clutch down the stretch, I'm talking about not scared of the shot, not scared to take the shot. Every time he putting that thing up there, win, lose, or draw. McGee being man enough to lose his starting job and fall back like he fell back, and still the main one up on the bench cheering. You know, Markeith being from Philly, getting that chip and giving them a strong game here and there. Hell of a team, you know, and I'm looking forward to that run back. So, you know, definitely did it for Mamba, you know, but they showed strength in a time where as though and it was crazy. It's crazy to hear about how tough it is to do the bubble thing when military people go 6 months without their families at a time all the time, and that should be fucking me up a little bit. I hate to take away from the glory of that, but you talking about 4 months in a 5-star hotel and 6 months, 8 months out to sea in a fucking bunk with two motherfuckers on top of you is a whole different scenario. Not the
all 6 of us would have lived in a goddamn 3-foot space and been mad
in one
as shit
section.
with Jay.
All 6 of us would be in this section.
Yeah, I'd have got early shit fucking with Jay. Like, bro, why you up so early? This motherfucker gonna get out of his rack and not the goddamn way.
Man, that's crazy. You know what's crazy?
Not to hate on that. Not to hate on that though.
Not to go, but so long. But like, it's baffling to me how the Lakers, if they weren't your team of choice, the people were saying LeBron James caught a break because of COVID and he was allowed to rest his body, as if the other motherfuckers didn't had to keep playing through COVID and they didn't get the rest. What are we talking about?
Right.
Well, everybody got the same rest. Everybody had the same mental hurdles to jump or not when we talk about in the bubble, outside of the bubble, family or no family, and all that. Them other teams flat out ain't get it done. Flat out.
It's always gonna be a motherfucker that can't do it that's gonna speak on it. You know, at the end of the day, we've seen at some point you have to sit the fuck down and pay attention to how great that man is and how wonderful the team is. You know what I'm saying? Like I ain't gonna lie, like I don't hate that team. Because I do believe that team has vulnerability, but at the end of the day, they're just a great team with one of the greatest fucking players of all time. So whether this man is resting or not, we have to respect this man's skill set and what he's able to do. You know, it's just we're grading him against GOAT great shit. Like you're not grading him against a nigga that plays basketball in the park. You know, this guy is just on an elite level. So, you know, people are gonna always hate and make excuses. I think those. Go ahead.
No, I didn't want to cut you off.
Can we also talk about too? I think we spoke on this, but let's just talk about the level of greatness that's in these guys to be able to play in the stadium when there's nobody there. You know, like to still have the heart and the intensity to play this fucking game at an elite level when nobody's really fucking there. I think that's a big difference. And I think LeBron even felt that difference. But the fact that we don't even look at that layer of difficulty. Like there's a layer of just a bunch of now we're going at it. This is not a, you know what I'm saying? This is not a fandom thing right now. They're there, but it's just me and this motherfucker. So it's different.
I got told a long time ago, if you don't have haters, then you're not doing something right, you know? So I enjoy the people that look upon me and get mad or jealous because they're not doing it right, you know? And so LeBron, I think he enjoys it because what he puts into his body, how he treats his body, you know, from all the regiments and stretching and what he eats on a daily basis. And just the mental attitude of just to, you know, realize like, look, this is season right here, but this is what I'm focused on, and I have one goal. You know, not throwing no faults, but other players out there, you know, at Magic City getting their lemon pepper wings while, you know, he in the gym or watching film. So, you know, you got to shout out that man. You know, he does great things. And I got to admit, in the beginning, I did not like LeBron. You know what I'm saying? So, and then later on, as I got a little older, I understood and I feel the young fella. You know, he about to turn 36 in a month, so you know we'll see how long he'll go for.
Now you got to sit back here and too shout out Anthony Davis, and I didn't mention him, but the fact that I felt like he played through some things that he normally wouldn't have played through at a younger age. He took some bumps and bruises. If you seen him at the end of game 5, going into game 6, well, we didn't know what to expect as far as his being able to move around the court. And defensively, his effect that he had on game 6 was something to be admired. It was also something to be Miami Heat, that whole team, that organization. You definitely got to respect. I remember Jimmy saying early that they could win it and they could be there. And it came true. Jimmy game 5 was going to go down in history. Jimmy versus LeBron in game 5 is going to go down in history as one of the best games, one of the best finals games, two guys going back to back that we ever seen when it's thought about. Jimmy, hell of a performance. But you know, at the end of the day, you know, the Lakers came out to win. I do want to say, let's talk about this, the statement LeBron made. And LeBron, I want my damn respect. What did y'all take from his comments when he said that?
I thought he ain't say enough. I was like, man, I thought he was gonna call out names like a Jordan Hall of Fame speech or some shit. But I guess it ain't time.
I mean, I don't know if he was throwing shots back at Kyrie for his little, you know, comment or whatever, but I mean, you gotta put respect. You gotta put respect on his name, because what he has accomplished in his career, and you look upon the other ones, and you know, someone said it earlier. When they talk about him, they talk about greatness, his accolades, right? They're not talking about who he's going against right now. They're talking about the numbers that are already posted and the numbers he's already surpassed. So, you know, Cool just said it. He didn't say enough, but he did say enough in that context.
What do you have to say to somebody when you lift up the goddamn Larry O'Brien? What we talking about? I don't have to say nothing to you. Right?
Bitch. He's gonna put a bitch on it.
Like Kyrie, cut it out. You was a lottery pick, right? And then you was happy when Braun got there. You won a chip, and yeah, you hit the shot over Steph. Fine, got it. When the last time you won a chip, Kyrie? Like, you a fucking problem. You know what I'm saying? You took your bitch ass to Boston, and they got you up out of there and traded you for you, or got rid of you for another you, right? When they got Kemba or whatever, and now you ain't played what 6 games with the rest of the motherfuckers. Like it's gonna be Katie and Dinwiddie. You know what I'm saying? Like, give a fuck out of you, Kyrie. Fuck out of here. I don't care.
I agree. I'm not certain they're gonna win. Like the KD Kyrie thing at all. I'm not certain they're gonna be poised to just come out the East and it's just be a cakewalk. Jimmy Butler and them gonna have some shit to say. And like, I'm not like no Jimmy Butler, like, but Jimmy Butler and them gonna have some shit to say. You know what I mean? And so
and them young boys gonna get better.
I'm about to say if Django Butler
listen,
and the Heat get a big person, let's say a Giannis, because he ain't decided where he's gonna go, it's gonna be some competition at the East. Like that's gonna be a series right there. If you put that series back to back and you put Giannis in the equation, that's gonna be a battle like for ages.
If talent wins, then the Clippers would have been in the finals, or the Clippers would have been where they were supposed to be at.
Why do you believe that?
That's what I'm saying. When you put individuals
on paper, they don't look good for me. I'm just saying.
The same way that chemistry thing is a very important thing. And if you can't get that, it don't matter how much talent, how many shooters you got on the squad. When I seen
on the Clippers though, is my question. Who's the talent?
Why?
I mean, to let the world say it. Listen, I have more faith in LeBron than
fuck
AD
the world.
Anyway.
Fuck the world. I'm just saying, who's the talent on the Clippers? I'll wait.
Kawhi and Paul George. What's the name of them had balled the year before? Harold had balled.
What has Paul George
they had a nice
won? Where has he ever been successful?
We're on the same page with that. But what I'm saying is, it's not about talent. When I heard Cousins talk about how he loved being on the Lakers team and how even before the pandemic, they were a team and they did things together. As much as you can have talent all day, but if that talent don't gel and there's no camaraderie, then that doesn't guarantee anything as far as the the Brooklyn Nets are concerned. All right. So was the bubble a success? Can we see that being something that's implemented in other sports, or is this strictly a basketball thing? Will we see it happen again, or
No,
is this just
No.
it the one time?
no.
Yeah.
No.
There's 275 jobs in all of the NBA, right? It's 1,500 people in the NFL, like plus coaches, it's plus space, right? So no, there's no other sport that you can do that in. Maybe
Will
hockey.
the
but for
NBA
what?
consider it again? Will the NBA consider it again?
What do you mean consider? They're going to have to do it. There's not a consideration.
You think so?
Yes.
I don't think they said for sure what they were going to do yet.
I don't care what they say. They're going to have to do it again if you want to have basketball in the next 6 or 8 months. I don't care. It don't matter what they're saying today.
You're not, I don't think they're gonna have
COVID ain't going nowhere this fall, right?
Yeah.
The numbers are going up. And if you decide if you do it at Christmas or at New Year's or after MLK, what the fuck you going to do? Ain't nobody going to be in the stands.
That shit's wild that the numbers are going up again, but they are.
Why so? It ain't going.
No, I'm just saying it was predicted and it's definitely happened. I mean, you know, flu season's coming, so I mean, or it's here. So yeah, it's wild. Huh?
All right. Y'all want to jump into this Bill Burr Saturday Night Live situation? Bill Burr went on Saturday Night Live. He was hosting and had a 5-minute little monologue where he was, doing his thing, and he said some things that probably touched some people in a way. Juice, you want to go ahead and tap into that?
I want to tap in real quick, and I want to say too, it brought light to a lot of things we've spoke on this podcast, and also helped me realize that a lot of times, fact and things that we don't like to talk about gets lost in theatrics and maybe language, and things come off as offensive. So to anybody, if I've ever offended you about the things I've said, I apologize, because I don't want you to miss the message. So Bill Burr, basically, the thing that got many up in, I think the whole entire bit was funny, but obviously he was saying things that could come off as offensive. One of the major things he said was in regards to white women hijacking the woke movement, making it, their own, when they basically have assisted in racism, or they have taken advantage of racism, the money off of it, you know what I'm saying? And when they wanted to be with a black man, they did. And if they didn't, they got caught, they said it wasn't consensual, So he really said some things that were pretty deep. And I want to say this, that I think everything he said was pretty accurate. Maybe it was very aggressive, but the truth is that, of course, we don't want to generalize, but for the most part, let's look at the last election. Over 50% of white women voted for Donald Trump. Donald Trump is a bigot. Donald Trump is racist. But over 50% of the white women in America voted for this man. Why is that? At the end of the day, it's an interest at hand. Also, let's look at the slain black individuals, such as, widely known Emmett Till, who was, murdered senselessly for allegedly whistling at a white woman. So, I think the idea is, me as a blonde-haired, blue-eyed white woman, if I were a blonde-haired, blue-eyed white woman who has been able to benefit off this system, what then really is the real oppression over me outside of the guy that I'm being, the co-host with, which is the white man? What real, case of oppression are you facing to take this movement that was never meant for you in the first place, that was meant to free black and black men and black women specifically from the ailment of slavery and Jim Crow? So it was funny. It was definitely comical. However, white women in America did not find this to be funny. I think he said a few things about LGBT as well. I did not dive into that portion. I mainly paid attention to what he said about white women. But I also find it funny when a white man says it's taken a little more serious versus than when
And he
someone
said
else says it.
he told them to sit down and take your lashing too, or take your
Well, take your
like
talking
basically
too.
Right. Don't get up here and act like you on their side when you've been a part of this for years and profited from this for
Right.
years. So you sit down right here next to me where you've been and take what's coming to you also.
Right. I mean,
Bill.
go ahead, cool.
Oh no, Bill Burr. I became familiar with Bill Burr and his style of comedy from another guy we invoked on his podcast or had before, the great rest in peace, Patrice O'Neal. Bill Burr had a great respect for Patrice O'Neal. I know Bill Burr through Patrice O'Neal's comedy because the same kind of edgy, raw, in your face. But specific to a white man, right? George Carlin comes to mind as a comedian who was unapologetic and woke and used to talk that shit. If you listen to some old clips, you can't help but be like, damn, he said that. Like at a time where I wasn't even, woke or, even close to the person I understand today. And so Bill Burr is probably the perfect kind of comedian on the white side of the game to deliver such a joke, and it's not left field for him, as I understand. And I'm not a fan. I can't say I'm a fan per se. I don't dislike him, but I just haven't enveloped myself in enough comedy of his to declare myself a fan. But I've thought that things he's said in the past have been funny, if not thought-provoking. He also has a famous like YouTube clip where he got booed at some kind of festival comedy show, and he was booed in like Philadelphia or some shit, and it was like for 10 minutes long, and he turned the crowd around telling joke after joke, just cussing their ass flat out till they cheered him at the end. And I listened to that shit. That shit was actually rather amazing. So I'm glad
You gotta send that to the group too, cool.
Huh? What'd you say?
You gotta send that to the group.
Okay, yeah.
Send that to the group.
We'll do.
Funny.
I'll put that on there. I'm glad they gave him a platform, and I'm glad that he was like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna say my comedy the way I say it." So, who mad? I mean, he said it. We even like pausing how we saying it now, even though he said it. Like, you know what I mean? So,
the thing is that there was no way, any way, that the white man was going to be able to do that alone. You know what I'm saying? He has to have a family that he raises and that he indoctrinates. And whether they've been liberal or conservative, which would segue us into another guy who has some great things to say. They have taken advantage of being white. They many of them do understand white privileges. I mean, just look at the wealth gap in America, especially between blacks and whites. You just have to look at it all in total. I don't see why white women are so offended by that. But I've been saying that for the longest. When you even look at women's suffrage, when for them to even get the right to vote. Okay, you're using black women, you know what I'm saying? You're using and I can't the historic black woman doesn't come to mind. I'm smoking who helped with women's suffrage, but white women got the right to vote in the 1920s. Black women didn't get their right to vote until their man got the right to vote in 1964. So I mean, look at that. We're talking about over 40 years, much longer of oppression black women had to face that white women didn't. Even in the workplace, when you talk about the wealth, as far as what they get paid, I do believe that all women and men should get paid the same for the same job. I do believe that. But I mean, it's like even a white woman's pay, white people's pay in general, is far different than black people, black women. Just our whole situation is different. At the end of the day, I will say this, it could be offensive to many others. So this is my trigger warning, is that specifically the civil rights movement was for black people and born out of the black struggle. We have to understand, because of slavery again and Jim Crow. I do feel like our movement has been hijacked not only by white women, but other self-labeled minority groups. So good for him for pointing that out.
No
that
doubt.
was well put. That was well put, Juice.
Look at the
Thank
look at
you.
the growth of the growth of the charm
Self-labeled
charm guy
minority
right in front of our
groups
eyes.
is excellent.
Yeah, because I'm
Mm.
it's that
That's
crown black
next
that's got me
level.
talking good. But no, I
Hold up,
want
dog. They ain't cut us no. They not cut us no check, dog. Don't be showing them. Don't be showing them
okay.
signs. They ain't cut us no bread.
Let me get that devil's poison away from here. But the thing is, I want to break that down why I said that, because I did see some tweets where white homosexual males, not to knock anybody being gay or from the LGBTQ community, but started saying, oh, shame on Bill Burr for comparing minority groups. Hold on, dog. You're not in the minority group. Your sexuality does not put you in a minority group. I do not want to see you discriminated against. I don't want to see you harmed because of how you want to live your life, because that's your human right. But what we're not going to do is, again, make a label for yourself to call your minority group when you are indeed a white man who has the choice to say, I want to be gay or now want to be transgender, and make that a thing. And that's the issue with all of this, is that at the end of the day, it's when that white society decides that they're going to make movement or traction on change is when it happens. You can't, because you don't even get you don't get slavery abolished. You don't get, any civil rights without them signing off on a dotted line or shit. So, just saying, bro,
Well,
like, niggas have suffered until we fix that, until we fix everything that has ailed the black community because of systemic racism. I don't really give a fuck about that other shit. I'm sorry, I can't really fuck with your movement totally, because niggas is still fucked off. Oh, by the way, y'all hijacked this shit and then got all kind of shit. It's like, nah, I'm not cool with that at all.
All right, now let's go into this Dr. Umar situation that I didn't get to embrace or get to listen. I will. So I need y'all to give us a little information on what Dr. Umar was
You're coming
talking
in
about
low,
on
Neef.
the canon class. I need y'all to talk about with my bad. I didn't get a chance to listen.
No, you still low. Are you afraid to have your mic in front of you? Is that what's happening right now? Put your mic in front of you, dog.
Right here.
You're a goddamn
It's right here,
rapper.
bro.
Like,
It's right here. You can hear me good?
it
You
looks
can't still hear me
weirder.
good, right?
I would rather have your mic in front of you than you do it like this. Hey, bro. Hey, like, don't be a weirdo.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There you go. That's better, bro.
yeah, that's better.
Yeah,
God
That's
damn it,
way
so-
better.
That's way better.
That's way better.
You've been talking
All right,
away from the mic
all right,
for
y'all.
weeks.
Actually,
man.
that's how it
Actually,
should be
it's
every time.
Yeah.
Every time.
Because I've been trying to get my shirt off and shit. Trying to get my
Nobody
shirt off.
cares about your shirt on a fucking podcast that people listen to.
All right, y'all.
What is wrong with you?
All right. There's some
God
people
damn
that watch, yo.
it.
Here we go. Here we
There's some
go.
people that watch, yo. All right, so y'all
Here
hear
we
me good now?
Yes, it's actually
Perfect.
amazing.
Perfect.
All right, so Dr. Umar
We all need to get these
was on.
mics.
I was just about to say
That's
that,
how
my
great is
Aquarius
that?
brother.
Ain't nothing but a bitch.
Yeah.
All right.
So, hey, yo, I'm sitting in the crib. My bad.
Yeah.
So Dr. Umar came on the canon class. I didn't get to watch it, unfortunately, but this is something that we want to tap into. I'm kind of mad I didn't hear it. So y'all let me know what Dr. Umar was talking about, because it comes off a lot of times. Dr. Umar comes off like a little left field, a little crazy. But from what y'all telling me, he might not be as crazy as he comes across. So let's get into that, man.
Who want to go first?
You real?
All right, I'll go. So, my algorithms on my YouTube channel showed me that Nick Cannon had a canon class with Dr. Umar. And it was like 4 days ago or something like that. So I was like, oh, is this shit new? But real quick before I get into it, a lot of things he was saying was older. So I don't know if Nick was holding off or holding on to this for some shit, or, you know what I'm saying, was it a new interview? I couldn't tell, honestly, just based on some of the things he was saying. But I'll tell you what, the interview was 1 hour and 7 minutes long. And Dr. Umar spoke for most of it, and Nick was just basically listening like a sponge should. But fucking Dr. Umar, everything he said was 100% correct and made sense, right? He talked about the crib to prison pipeline. He talked about big pharma putting medicine on all these kids. He talked about our social economic power and how we literally worth $2 trillion and we could literally do it on our own, but the cultural conditioning or the mind state of us, it just was so enlightening that I was like, everything that he does that we turn into gifts and memes and funny little clips to, you know what I'm saying, criticize him, it all felt like it was trolling. Right? All of that shit felt real trollish when we laugh and joke about Dr. Umar Johnson, but I couldn't laugh at him during this interview. It wasn't even funny. It was so on point that I'm sitting there looking like, yo, I say this shit all the fucking time.
Right.
Like, I was like, God damn. Man, bro. Just the things he was pointing out was amazing and great, and it was filling to my mental and my soul, coming from him and just talking about the state of America, of how, you know, they took the trades away from us and told us to go to college just to put us in debt. Right. Mm-hmm. So you tell your kid go to college instead of being an electrician, which is stupid. Or you tell your kid go to college and don't be a fucking plumber, which is stupid. Right. Mm-hmm. He's like, yeah, cool. School makes sense because there's certain things you got to go to school for. If you want to be a psychologist, you want to be a doctor, you want to be a lawyer, fine. Because we need those things too. But we also need farmers and we need cooks and we need electricians and we need plumbers. And those things pay great money. Right. People don't realize plumbers make like $50 a fucking hour. Right, like why?
And they're millionaire farmers getting millionaire subsidies. Millionaire farmers,
millionaires, yeah,
fucking overalls and millionaire bank accounts.
Don't give a shit. Pick up they got that on Chevy truck. Go out there with their overalls on. Get like you can buy land right now with a subsidy just to farm on it. Right, they will give you a fucking grant today. They want to give you a grant.
My first experiences with Dr. Umar weren't necessarily the funny stuff or the wild stuff. Before, I think about a couple of years, and I didn't really have a lot of them, but when I came across them, it was always like what y'all are talking about. And then it just became like all this stuff where it was just like, yo, boy, saying the wildest shit ever. But my first encounters with him, and I didn't do a lot of it, or I didn't encounter him a lot, were things that were the same thing y'all are saying, which is like real true shit.
Let me kind of dive into that before I speak on what he said about Nick. I'm gonna make this really quick as far as like his rise and fall. So Dr. Umar, most of us came into contact with him on Hidden Colors. So from like Hidden Colors, and then, you know, it goes from there because that became a popular film by Tariq, you know what I'm saying, Nasheed. So that was pretty much putting all the conscious information out for Black folk. Now from there, I think the brother just went through what typically happens when we amass power. You know, with power comes great responsibility. And, you know, you want to fuck off too. So, like, he got caught up in, like, this stripper situation. I don't know if y'all remember that, but, like, basically, he was supposed to be a brother that was celibate. He was saying he was celibate. He wasn't having no sex. But he got caught up with some pussy. And it's like, oh, you know, wait a minute, you're not celibate. So what it did was it kind of tainted him a little bit. Then he was asking for a large sum of money. I forgot exactly how much, but he wanted, like, things like $1 million to build a school for boys. Supposedly so many people gave the money. And then, you know, everybody's asking, hey, where's the school? Like, nigga, you got the money, where's the school? And then it went kind of from there to all his critique and him getting into it with people in the conscious community. So I do think the interview was more Noor. Getting into it with like Cyrus Student Seti and people like that, for those of y'all in the conscious community, he got into it with them to, okay, people making fun of him, saying he on dope, drugs, and it did seem like he went in a down spiral. However, I don't think his message of what he was trying to present initially was ever wrong. You know, a lot of times as leaders, the message gets tainted because of what he talked about there was we get emotional and we like, you know, it's a popularity context. It's who we like, you know, so we get caught up in that and then we miss the message. But everything he said with Nick was just on point. Again, it was a lot of things we've been saying right here on this show. And as far as our children getting medication, like I did not know that Ritalin is one molecule away from being crack. I did not know that, and maybe that's something we should look deeper into to see how accurate that is. But he is a licensed clinical psychologist, so he has the credentials to say this. The brain chemistry changing, his intellect as far as talking about therapy. If a kid can't help or ask for like therapy, self-diagnose and say, hey, something's wrong with me. How are we doing this to the child and saying something is wrong with the child? I mean, this is very fucking accurate type of shit, even up into Black people's approach to power and how we can, what should we be doing for our community, all the way up to we really don't want it as a community. I don't think we really want the revolution. I think we are comfortable where we're at. Brother just touched on a lot of shit that was on point. And so no matter what you say about him, the message is universally correct for Black people, I think.
Let me tell you, I want to interject my a story from a slightly different view, but it does touch on this just in general. Like, so I remember back to another school story, but basically we had to take pharmacology, right? The study of the medications, method of action, how they break down, and all this other whatever. So you study that, you do whatever you do, you get your grades, and you're supposed to learn how to, do medicine and why and all of this and all that. Well, school is 4 years. I did a surgical residency, so that's another 3 years. So college, 4 years, another 4 years of school, 3 years of surgical residency, right? By the time I was in podiatry school and we had to learn the medicines, and then I got to surgical residency, some of the medications that we had just learned about 2 or 3 years earlier were taken off the market. Why were they taken off the market? Because it turns out they was causing heart attacks in people all the fucking time, all along, for certain blah, 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 whatever, right? So a greater realization for me, by the time I then got to my training, I was in at the residency. I shared the room with a guy who was from some other country, somewhere from some other part of the world. And long story short, he was like, Mike, why are all the American commercials have medicine or food in them? So I didn't really understand. And at this time I was late 20s, whatever it was. And I was like, damn, I didn't realize they've been hypnotizing us and advertising us something to consume or some medicine to fix it with, right? And we know the little joke about the side effects. So the medicine I'm talking about were actually causing heart attacks in folks during the FDA studies. Not only that, people were at a time of the recession at the time, they weren't more against just taking medicine blindly. And it turned my kind of self-directed or self-taught, self-education taught to more natural and holistic things for some of the very things that I still even prescribe certain things for now. What that means is I don't blindly accept science as this big, they know it all, because who the fuck is they, right? If we talk about like, who is the faces and stuff behind these, you can say, yeah, there's scientists. Don't tell me Dr. Fauci and them, like ain't no in them. Who is the in them? And what did they use? What did old wives and them use before it was a pharmacology class? What did they develop the formulas out of, right? So I ask myself these questions and I come up with my own mix of holistic or natural things. Even as Dr. Mike, holistic or natural things. I even share these things with my patients. So if you're looking for an anti-inflammatory, right, when you look for a Motrin or an Aleve, if you understand that whole process, we understand ice is a topical anti-inflammatory, but cinnamon, cumin, and turmeric are spice anti-inflammatories. Figure out how the fuck to cook with them, right, and do the same thing. But you got to understand it in its totality before you even get there. So I just want to put that out there with that whole medicine shit. Like, ain't no trust, ain't no put my child on no medicine. Some of the shit don't work no better than no sugar pill. That's a fact, right? Placebos is outworking some of these medicines that we think we got to put our kids on. The fucking side effects is the same side effects as you looking at like straight in prison or looking at lead paint. We talk about that all the time, Terrell. Like it's a lot of things on there, man. So yeah, I mean, I just want to put that 2 cents in there.
Hell yeah, that was fucking on point.
Thanks, man.
All right. Donald Trump. And we talk about him every week, but you know, he gives us something to talk about every week. So Donald Trump this week. We should have a segment called Donald Trump this week. Dum 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 dum.
Actually, pretty good.
Music behind it, and
You breaking up again?
talk. Oh, did this fucking did this? Well, I heard the number from 25 to 30 something. 25 to 30. Can you hear me better now?
Yeah, go ahead and say what you're saying.
25 to 30 something cases were happened in the White House due to COVID cases happening in the White House since he had COVID. So how do y'all feel about this week's version of how he's approaching COVID now, being a week removed? Juice, you even said we were waiting until Monday to see what, you know, they said, so this Monday, right? As far as his COVID situation, I just seen something that said he got a couple negative tests back. So how do we feel about COVID and how Donald Trump is addressing it this week?
I haven't been paying much attention to what was going on with him this week. I know he was trying to do rallies. I know he's still pressing for old girl Barrett to get confirmed before the election. I know her first day was today, I believe, for her confirmation hearings. But none of that shocks me that people around you got COVID, right? That I'm surprised there's not more people in the White House. 20 or 40, 30 or 40 is not a lot when you know how many people are in that building, right? That's not a lot of people in the grand scheme of things. What are you saying?
He even said that COVID was a blessing from God.
I keep saying it. I said it last week. He is a reality TV star, right? So he is going to play to the pity of the people. And you already said he already has his fan base, but then people felt pity for him. And now he's like, I could have been better I could have did this 2 days ago. Or I didn't really have it, or whatever it is. He's playing these people. He is feeding it until this election next month. Between now and next month is going to be the most crucial commercials. You're going to see the most outrageous things on TV. And you're going to be like, I can't believe this happened. And you're right. We should have a segment going this week on Trump and have a little drum machine rolling up because there's going to be something every week with him.
So do y'all think his followers believe this? Do you think his followers are still like,
oh yeah,
they believe every word he says that comes out of his mouth?
They believe every goddamn thing.
They've been saying it. Like, I mean, like, I don't think COVID has anything to do with their belief system, right? I really don't. Him catching COVID is him catching COVID. I don't think it has anything to do with the election today. I mean, either he had it or he didn't. Either he's going to get a boost or he's going to stay the same. But either way, I don't see how it changes anything, right? You can't get on TV and say, if I can beat it, you can beat it. That's not smart. So is he making it? Yeah. Did he make it? Sure. Right.
He even said that if he gets reelected, he'll give the cure away for free.
Oh,
I mean, you gonna believe that? You know, like big business is not gonna have.
That's why I'm asking. So I'm saying, if you're a follower, if you follow him and you believe in everything he says, do you believe these crazy things that are coming out of his mouth?
Well, it's the same people that believe that you should drink bleach and you should take the hydrochloroquine pills. Like that's not like out the realm. Like what would shock me is if he got up there and had a presidential debate where he sounded presidential. Like that would shock me. Nothing that he says now is shocking.
Like, yeah, exactly.
It's definitely the same. It's definitely the same people that believe a wall was going to keep Mexican people out.
Right.
Yeah.
It's what's going to shock me, right? If he do something dramatic, let's say he do something dramatic like do a blood transfusion with Magic Johnson and don't come up with AIDS, I'll be shocked. Like, oh shit. but everything he says out his mouth doesn't shock me.
Magic
That
ain't
wouldn't
got
shock
it,
me,
bro.
but Magic ain't got it either. That wouldn't shock me at all.
That's what I'm
Magic,
saying. Like,
Magic fatter than me right now, bro. Like, Magic don't got none of the symptoms of a motherfucker who got HIV.
Bro, I was
He
in the
been
house
had
the other
undetectable levels
for a long time.
for years
Before it was even fun. So let's think about this, and not to get off on a tangent too far. 10 years ago, people was literally taking cocktails that was making them all sick all day, right? There's a commercial they play so much about a drug called Victarvy, right? There's literally one pill to get undetectable and can't give it away, and they put that shit in between cereal commercials and Coming New on ABC, right? Y'all see the commercial with the black lady with the glasses? Like
medicine and food.
Yep.
Medicine and food.
like literally, bruh. They say one pill a day to become undetectable. And if you're undetectable, there's a chance that you can't give it away. Bro, we're talking about something that was a whole cocktail of drugs people was taking less than 15, 20 years ago. Less. It was still killing people. Like in rapid succession. But the HIV thing is not a thing anymore.
We still look at it as a death sentence, despite the fact that there's a prophylaxis pill against it too. You can take something so you won't get it.
A preventative. They literally have preventative medication for HIV in 2020.
That shit called PrEP.
PrEP, yeah.
Yo, them commercials be
and
the
they
wildest
market it
commercials
to a demographic.
ever, yo. Them commercials be the wild, like they be doing all kind. Like he be throwing the frisbee to his dog in the park, and he be like, "Yo, what the fuck do this got to do with?" She's doing ballet. She's doing ballet with her friends, and they leaving.
They about the frisbee. Netflix
Yeah, like it's like
like for my migraines, I'm on two medications for migraines, an abortive and a preventative, right? They literally have that for HIV today. Literally.
And the symptom, the symptoms, dog, be the wildest shit ever. Like, and they be throwing the frisbee, they run down the whole situation, like, and you don't, because you'll find yourself in a place where you just see him throwing the frisbee and the dog running after it. You're not hearing all the shit that's gonna happen once you start taking this motherfucking pill.
The side effects.
It's a bunch of, bro. Right? Yeah.
Side effects.
The side effects. Right. The side effects for this shit be like, you about to get 10 things for one thing. Like, is it worth? Is this
you take this pill, you get constipation, you might get bloated.
No,
you might get,
listen, bloody noses out of nowhere.
Some of them might be deaf. Some of them might be deaf. Like
right. Eventually you'll die.
This is
you'll die.
This is correct. One, there's a medicine. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got
yeah.
Cedric the Entertainer advertises a medicine where he got some feet burning on fire. Right, and basically the medicine is for this nerve pain called neuropathy, diabetic neuropathy. And so the fact is, diabetics get neuropathy. If they sugar so high, they'll get the shit. It just damage to the nerves, right? But the medicine that's used for diabetic neuropathy pain causes suicidal ideations, perhaps. So maybe you get to take this medicine that's for your high sugar nerve pain when you should just control your fucking sugars, right? I ain't
Right.
victim blaming, but I'm just saying, right? When you should just control
You
the
wanna
sugar,
kill yourself.
but it might make you want to kill yourself on top of it. And they say it so nice, and the lady sounds so nice with her voice so eloquent, real quick, with nice imagery. This shit is not a game out here, man.
Right.
Not a game out here. And it's the reverse with, kill us in the street. So they make us comfortable on one end and then kill us silently with commercials and bad food on the other end. Stay woke.
Oh, hell yeah. So Trump we still on Trump. He decided that he wasn't going to give the stimulus check away, or he wasn't going to sign for it. Then 2 days pass and he signs for it, or he said he'll sign for it. So is this hopes that this will help him in the election? Why the change of mind do we think Trump changed his mind as far as the stimulus situation? And is the stimulus necessary with Christmas time coming around and trying to get the economy right?
People are going to buy shit regardless of if he send a stimulus check anyway, because of the fabric of our goddamn spending habits during that season, right? Black Friday coming around like Avengers. The only difference now is how you gonna keep all these motherfuckers in the building? That's the real issue they got to deal with. So Cyber Monday is gonna be a much larger sales day this year than any other year, right? So that'll really be the twist to that, right? And Cyber Monday will probably start on Black Friday, and they'll probably market it that way. But what you gonna give a motherfucker? $1,200, $2,000? How much of a difference is it gonna make?
That make a lot of difference to a lot of motherfuckers.
Is
I think this shit.
That shit.
Is it?
I think you say, will it help him get elected? At this point, man, all this shit's a circus right now. I think it's hilarious. I want to know what's really happening that I don't know about, because this is just wild as fuck. And whether he gives people money or not, he beat this
That'll
COVID
change
shit.
the vote, right?
Yeah. I think his supporters will support him. The funny thing is, if he's actually passed this COVID shit and this really cured him, like, how does that pan out then? Like, it's just, I don't know. I don't know, man, at this point, bro.
But you can't think that because he's taking $100,000 medicines. You know what I'm saying? Like the people he's dealing with, we all don't have the access to those people.
So just
What Magic, hold on, my bad, Jay, real quick. What Magic is able to do and afford medicine wise and treatment wise, we all can't do that with our insurance.
And I think the evil part of this is, for all of that shit, is that these are two viruses. It's funny that you bring up that has, conspiracy theorists believe are man-made and have been put on society, which, I kind of believe that. So that's the sad part, is that, this shit plagues the common man, and then people with money and wealth get to have access to all these medicines. So, there's something to think about. I don't know what he's going to do. I don't know if his plan would be to make that shit available at a certain price. I don't know. All I know is Regeneron, hey, all my stock people, which y'all think, do y'all think I should buy? Don't. Or what? Because if that shit go up, it's already like, I looked at it, was like $599 and shit a share. That shit went to like 604. Who knows how high to go? I don't know. I'm just saying.
What you was about to say, Jay?
So just then, Johnson & Johnson confirms that COVID-19 trial is paused for unexplained illness.
208 people.
Is it a coincidence? It doesn't say. It just says in a trial participant. So whoever was participating and using their body as a donor for the vaccine is ill right now. So that just came through my phone. So when will they start again? Or will the vaccine be available after November 3rd? That's my question.
Yo, let's jump on this Michigan governor situation where 13 men tried, I guess they had a plan set to take place to kidnap the governor of Michigan. Mm-hmm. Who got some information about this? Juice, you got something? What you got, Jay? Y'all got something for me?
They were doing some like white supremacy shit or something, weren't they? Yes,
they were.
I think so. Like,
is she a Democrat?
What I was hearing about one guy. Yeah, she's a Democrat. Yeah. But it was a guy. It was a guy on MSNBC who used to be a part of like one of those kind of groups in the late 90s. He was talking about how up Wisconsin and stuff, like all that woods and stuff, it's people up there got their own little situation up there. Yeah. And they ready to separate themselves from the whole situation and ready for this. They ready for a race war.
Yeah, they militia groups, like those people you see training in the woods and shit with the guns and heavy artillery. They took over. Remember, a couple of these dudes took over the building or some shit a couple years ago. Them older guys, they had shootouts. Some other ones. Yeah, this shit happened at various parts of the United States all over. So these groups exist. But like, what's crazy is, don't visit your crazy on me. What the fuck you mean you finna kidnap some regular shit? Like, you know what I mean? Just be crazy in the woods. I mean, no disrespect, militia, y'all out there, but but I'm just saying, leave me alone.
Right.
Yo, dog, y'all gonna do that wild shit?
Might got one.
Yeah.
So it was a plot and they were staking out her northern Michigan home
It's crazy
and
as
planning
hell.
to detonate a bomb and divert law enforcement away from the home. And the plot was to target the elected official and members of law enforcement.
Fuck, they on Ozark or something? What is you doing?
That's a wild ass story. Like, how you gonna say?
Right.
Right. Like, yo, let's go ahead and kidnap the governor.
Kidnap the governor.
Right.
Like,
Right.
imagine
Yeah.
the governor of any major.
And why her though? Why her though?
Fucking crazy. I don't know. Who got time?
I don't
to
know,
kidnap
but
governors?
who wants to attempt to even make that work? Like that's just
Right.
like nigga.
13
Like it's a
That ain't 13 niggas ain't doing that, yo.
nah.
What we want her
Nah.
for?
Like you're gonna get caught like immediately. Like there isn't really much room for
Right.
you to like get away with this.
Right.
Like
FBI
nigga,
was on the was somebody come look at this side of the game. Was somebody come look at this?
Right.
What are you doing?
You see these stupid motherfuckers here?
yeah.
They
Like, what-
sniffed that shit out quick. Like, y'all don't realize that these phones are not secure. You don't understand. Like, the Patriot Act is a real thing. You dumb fucks. Like what's wrong with y'all? Like,
Y'all,
Like when we say when we
So-
jokingly say stop listening, they really be listening. Like
Right.
you know.
so the
I
green
believe it's-
dot, that green dot at the top of your right screen means that you're showing video, right? The orange dot means you're actually showing audio. In case anyone didn't know, and you have an iPhone and you see these two dots that just appeared on your update, that's exactly what those mean. So if you're ever walking and you see a green dot or orange dot on your phone, you're being recorded.
Well, no doubt.
I'll say
do
go ahead.
we believe in the trigger that like words that trigger and bring attention to you? Like if I said like
yes.
I kill that motherfucker
Yeah,
right now.
Yes. How you think they catch these motherfuckers?
Well, they ain't even got to do that. Like, dog, they can listen. They can check the tower, check your phone record, see where you were at when something happened, and place you somewhere.
Right.
So, like, it's
Right.
really like okay. So the Netflix special about the dude that killed him, like killed the wife and the kid.
Oh, hold on, hold on.
we gonna get there.
Okay, my bad.
Yeah, we got that there. We got that. Go
Okay,
ahead.
because but okay. Well, a point is that was all like when they were able to at least see what he was doing. They used nothing but footage around this motherfucker, like cameras on the houses, cameras in the store. Like I'm like, God
Right.
damn,
Bro, they could turn
So-
your phone on now. They could listen to you from your TV. That shit was on the news. Like this ain't like regular, fetus bullshit news. It was already on that. Like so, they say your shit got to be with the battery out type shit and out of earshot for it not to be picking up if you really don't want it to.
AJ, these the bulls right here.
That's why they stopped. Yes.
I
that's
swear
it, son.
anybody that's trapping
So
on
this
these
is-
phones and all that shit just are being allowed to.
Oh, they white. they
So,
white.
oh
They
yeah.
don't understand that
So
you can't do this shit
this
like
is
that.
why this is why Samsung stopped making the UHD TVs with the camera on top that popped up because people were being recorded on them. I mean, I don't know if y'all remember, but the little TV, you can press it in and press it off and whatnot. And it was the hottest TV on the market back then. And people were getting recorded because people were tapping into it. And they'll either see you in your bedroom, they'll see you in your living room, or they record you.
Yo, it's like Dave Chappelle said on the stand up. White people, cops know we know the law. Like, do these motherfuckers know? These motherfuckers who be coming up with these plans, do they know that what's going on? Because I guess the black criminals, most of them is some dumbass black criminals too. Don't get me wrong, but it's like, yo, do y'all know what the fuck is going on? Do y'all know what y'all actually planning to do? Because I'm looking at these guys, like these guys look like, and Jay just sent us the picture of these guys.
How many times Siri or your Google thing done popped up and you wasn't talking to her?
In the middle of your conversation.
And that's just regular shit. You know what I mean?
on some damn near. What did you say, nigga? Like what? Hold on, what?
Right.
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 The shit you were just
Google-
talking about pop up all in you.
Google had to admit that part of their AI shit some years ago had people listening. Like no shit, right? They had people
Yo,
like
you could
listening
buy
to these
some-
messages.
you could buy some shit, and then the shit you buy, all of a sudden the shit that go with it start popping up. Like, like you buy a TV, you want to surround sound shit start popping up, or
That's
some
not
other feature you can add
happenstance,
to your
bro. That's
shit.
not happenstance. Like that is
Oh
on
yeah, right,
purpose. Like none of us
right.
read the terms and conditions
Or
and say, "Yo, we are going to market to you." You are now not watching commercials because this great thing called the DVR. But what you thought they was going to do? How you think they was going to sell to you? Right?
Well, you
I don't buy shit in the store. Everything I bought probably this
bruh,
last year has been from
bruh.
the internet. Like,
Old
Yo,
old
I've been like that
old
for a
school
while, bro.
old new school technique. I read a book. I think it was a Malcolm Gladwell book some time ago. Old new school technique. If a woman go to Babies R Us and like buy some pregnancy shit or some shit, they will mail her out like new baby shit 9 months later in a leaflet. Like that shit is deep, and that's superficial surface deep. But if they was doing that shit with mailers and leaflets or not by chance, this internet shit easy for them to pop some shit up in your feed to them. Easy compared to that.
so like the way that works too is Facebook doesn't necessarily release this information directly to the people who are advertising. But the one thing that Facebook does have is they have information on what you like, what you know, based on your habits on the internet, based on where you're sharing your information too. Like when you get on a lot of these websites and shit, or you log in with Facebook, you can use this as like all that is collecting data on what you like buying, all that shit. So that's all categorized. So as an advertiser, if I want a certain person that likes Crown Black, you know what I'm saying? They can market that to me on top of, yes, I've had this happen before where I wasn't even looking at shit. I wasn't even looking at nothing, my nigga. I said something about Polo Red cologne. I said it. I just said the shit. And I seen the advertisement for the shit on Instagram. Like, hey, goddamn. Like that's just too close for comfort. Or I've been at a bar where I didn't say anything. Now this is really weird and strange. I was in a bar. I did. I said, I ordered there was a liquor that I ordered. I don't know if it was Jim Beam or not, but I ordered it there. And then eventually I saw that ad for that. So yeah, they're going off of what you're doing. Like we're letting them into our worlds and they know us through.
bro, you said Jim Beam when you ordered it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
That's
I thought about I did say it, but not even just thinking about it, you know what I'm saying? I'm at this bar, you know what I'm saying? I get it, and then boom, you know what I'm saying? I see advertising for it. So the future is the bubble in terms of not just in the NBA, but in your life. You know, you live in a bubble. You know, this is our podcast, this is our community, whatever your niche audience is, whatever you like, it will be catered to you all the time. So you can be consuming those things. Rarely, unless you think about it, will you break your cycle because it'll be so convenient. It's convenient to us now, you know, whether it's hurting us or not. That's all about the balance of life. So I think we talked about that here too. You know what I'm saying? You can do good and sometimes it come with a little bad, but that's just the balance of life. Like, we're giving shit up because at the same time, how are we able to do this podcast? How are we able to broadcast to, upwards of millions of people, simultaneously like this? Without having to spend a lot of money because of technology.
All right, Juice, you brought up American Murder: The Family Next Door. What made me watch this show? I don't know. It might have been a wife, man. We were sitting back here chilling and threw something on, man. That shit was just the wildest shit ever to me. So basically, what do we call this? Spoiler alert. If you haven't seen it. Y'all are familiar with if you haven't watched it.
Trigger, you know what I'm saying? If you don't want to hear about
all
this
that,
you ain't seen it, you
might want to fast forward a few minutes. Right. So basically, they living out Colorado. Mm-hmm. A man, his wife, 2 kids, she pregnant with another child. What bothered me the most about this whole drink was that she recorded. I don't know if she's putting it on Facebook, but she was doing a lot of like posting the personal shit that we always talk about. So that's why the whole time I'm watching, I'm thinking there's something else because it's like she's posting every single move that she seemed to make.
Strange.
Posting. Right. Like it was crazy. So like the whole time where it's a murder and like, first of all, the husband got to be the dumbest motherfucker on the earth. If you're going to kill your wife, your 2 kids, and the fact that she's pregnant, and you're just going to go home and act like she just left. You got to be the stupidest motherfucker on the earth. You're not giving them no clues. You're not telling them nothing. You're not giving them nothing. No kind of what's the term I'm looking for? Something to lead them to look at. Right. You no alibi. No. You're not saying, oh yeah, well, she had a problem with such and such and such, and this might have been, or she was getting threatened on social media. You wasn't giving them nothing. All you said was you don't know. End of the day, when you saying you don't know, and they not finding nothing, the house is in place, there ain't no mess. Dog, you the first boy they gonna look at. So his dumb ass, when he decided he wanted to kill her, which is the dumbest shit in the world, when you could have just got a divorce and she'd have cussed you the fuck out and she'd have been mad at you and it'd have been an issue and y'all done went to court.
Right.
But you could have had your little shorty and went on with the next part of your life. Y'all done went to court and figured that shit out and it'd have been cool. This dumb motherfucker felt like he had to kill her and kill the kids to be with his little young chick. He thought that was going to work. Nah, bro.
So this isn't about victim shaming at all, what I'm about to say. So I want to put a trigger warning out there because it could come off it like that. I first want to say killing it's to kill a child. You are in another space that I will never desire to be in. You're definitely hellbound for that. Killing a pregnant woman is just killing anyone, period. Outside of the defense of yourself, it's an odd place to be in. And it's quite evil if you ask me. However, I like to look at things always unbiased. I love documentaries. I like to see it through and through. I just look at the information of it. And the odd thing I saw between these two were the text messages. I felt like there were times where she was deliberately being harsh to him. And I felt like you could see glimpses of that where she talks about being this great guy. So I'm thinking this is a guy, 8 years he's been married to you. He's had kids with you. And somewhere after this ice cream spat, where you don't allow his parents over. By the way, I've kind of been in the marriage, you know what I'm saying? Where like the in-laws pissing somebody off and it's like, fuck that. When you've been married almost 20 years, that happens. But, they can't come over at all. And it's like he seems to go out, yes, and be with this other woman. I want to kind of hint or talk about that before we get to the murder part, because I think that's just a poor decision from someone that clearly was lost in himself. But I do believe, male or female, you can drive someone to insanity. I kind of looked at this, I'm trying to just study more about what drove this guy over 8 years to kind of seem to be this normal person, this person that she seemed to really love, to be this monster just out of nowhere. And I just wonder what's happening in this man's mind when she is belittling him, as she admitted in her text, that she belittled him and may have been just far more manipulative of his mind than she should have been able to, if that makes any sense. Again, this is information from a documentary. I don't know these people. You know what I'm saying? Like from
when she
anything.
Was snapping, like when she was like, and this was days before it happened, she was snapping on him and he'd be like, oh baby, I'll try, or I'm sorry, or like even with the ice cream situation, like I guess from what I gathered was the child was allergic to some things, and there was some ice cream in the house, in their house,
and almonds and shit.
Right.
It was allergic to nut.
Right. That was an ice cream. Right. That was in their house. I don't know if they actually gave it to the child, but it was like, it did seem a little extreme, the space she got in about them having, like, they shouldn't have it in their home, period, if my child is there. Like,
it was real fucked up. And it was just like,
you stay out, but listen, it's not like a place where it's not even a place where the kids are there every other weekend or something. Like, you had to go visit them and you visited where they were and were there for. So at the end of the day, it's like I can eat what I want to eat because I don't even see my grandkids to that extent. Whereas though I'm pretty sure ice cream is sitting on the counter and the child is walking up with a spoon and eating the ice cream. You get what I'm saying?
I don't think we. Oh, go ahead, cool.
It just sounded like again, we talking about the whole victim blaming thing. We're not talking about that, but yeah, there was some part. He was a vicious man, especially to killing kids and all that. He was out of his fucking mind. he was way left field as the fix to his problems. The fix to his problems would have been to fucking leave. He could have even left dirty, like fuck y'all and them kids, and it would have been better than killing them. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so that's one thing. But the documentary did do a job, I thought, again, of maybe kind of racing past or glossing past some of those potential trigger things that I saw. Like, so just like the man in me, those things. It's a big deal to what I perceive to be maybe either verbal castration, some form of belittling that had a history. She again admitted to it. The girlfriend at one point kind of like chuckled past it, almost excusing the behavior. And that's that it never was gonna fly. So either most of all, you like that's never gonna work. You think a guy would leave. You never think, oh, I'm gonna kill her, right? Or he would kill her in that same space. But you would say or make the leap to like, look, if she doesn't change or if she doesn't stop treating him or talking to him like that, he gonna find somebody else that appreciates him. Would be the mild, regular way that somebody might say that, right? So yeah, I definitely think there was some shit. Like she was wild for a couple things that I, as I understood her and how she did it. And yeah, one thing she even said, like, he just started to get a job where he could support himself. So it's probably something to that whole thing too, not to cut you off, Nee.
Well, let me explain something to the people, right? So 90% of us have smartphones, right? You can delete all the messages that you want. You can get rid of your phone. You can put it in water, right? It's this little chip in the back of your phone that most people don't know about. It's called the MTC, a motion tracking chip. It tracks every movement that your phone does when it's with you. If you get into altercation and me and Juice starts fighting and we flip each other, the phone flips and does the exact same thing. You're not going to get away with it. Just leave. Just leave. Go ahead, Eve. Sorry.
Damn, dog. I lost my thought and
I apologize. It just triggered me just now because it's just like crazy that people just
yeah.
You know what?
The crazy part to me was the fact that you kind of already got the new shorty on deck already, so she know the situation. It's not like she don't know about the wife. Right. So in the day, why kill her when you got the young shorty already on deck? Right. Though she ready to rock with you, so all you had to do was just get a divorce.
Let me throw this out there too. And we can't speak for this man on why he went that route because we all say that sucker shit. So whatever he get for consecutive life sentences is definitely deserving. But we do gloss over what happens to anyone. This isn't gender specific, y'all. Emotionally or mentally when you're being bullied, possibly abused, because that's abuse. Don't let anyone mistake what the fuck that is. When you are verbally assaulting someone and you're lashing out on them, I don't give a fuck what you have down here. If you're doing that, that's a form of abuse. So what happens? You can get people to go to that mode, even to like get the side piece, right? The side piece is, the escapism part. She is really the companion. That's the person you go to when she gonna give you nothing but fun. That's why when she got in there, I'm gonna tell you something about the side chick too, real quick, trigger warning. When she got in there and started talking bad about him, they're all gonna do that. She didn't end up with the spot. She gonna talk negative. Guarantee you when they was fucking, he was telling her about it. Now he might have lied and said they was getting divorced. Who ain't did that before? But I can guarantee you, he told her enough. Yeah, I did that. Yeah. He didn't told her enough to make her have some understanding of what was happening. So it's like, I really believe that he did even the side piece situation when he went that route. It's like, yo, bro, you ever been in? Okay, let's talk regular shit. You ever been into it with your girl so bad? You be like, bro, I want this bitch to break up with me. Like, I'm sorry for saying the B word. I want this woman to leave me alone. I want her to fucking, just go find another nigga, please, to get the fuck away from me. We've all got that. And then you want to go somewhere else to just kind of get a fucking way. I think that's what he was going through. However, whatever she was telling him, especially when I think he might have made the statement that she was gonna take the kids from him and some shit like that. Whatever she was saying, he might have felt like that was his only fucking way out of whatever torment he was going into. By the way, that ain't it, fellas. That's never it. That's not that's
Well,
never the
it
way.
was to the point where though he wasn't even sleeping with her for real. He went to go see her wherever she was at and wasn't touching her at all. You get what I'm saying? Like he was giving up all the signs to let her know clearly that not only was he really was feeling shorty to the point where though he didn't even want to touch her. So it wasn't even on no like had my cake and eat it too. It really felt like a thing where as though it was just a matter of time before it was there. The elephant was in the room already. You know what I'm saying? You ain't see her for 5 weeks and then you go see her. You don't see your wife for 5 weeks and you don't touch her when you greet her and when y'all laying together and you trying to fake sleep and all that. Like
He's
it's
tripping
obvious.
too, because pregnant cat is good and it's wet. So he's tripping. I had to throw that in there. I just gotta be real.
Pregnant three times. It's like he ain't get no coochie when he was younger. Then he lost weight after he got married and stuff, and he got popping. Then he might have got a little side piece. Then he went crazy and was like, "Well, fuck it, I can get a new life." Because I don't understand why you would even like get married and have a third child if you ain't at least like her enough to
Right.
allow her
But
to
see,
keep living,
it's
even if you want to divorce her.
Right. You could have end of the day. It seemed like he was a good dad. Like when you see him interact with the kids, he wasn't like he didn't fuck with his kids. Like, dog, what you
No,
really
he didn't fuck with his kids.
You don't think he did?
He killed them. No. I am the fucking president of FTK.
That's not funny, but
no. I literally asked all my cousins. I am Mr. FTK. But never in my mind has it crossed my mind to fucking kill my kids.
Right.
Like,
I'll be better off without them.
Hey, dog.
I won't be. Right? Like, it's all fun and dandy. They get on my fucking nerves. But I promise you, if one of them ever lost this earth, I would lose my shit. I would lose it.
Right.
Right? And that extends to y'all kids. Don't get it twisted. Right? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I'm really FTK about all of them.
They're not getting on my nerves that bad. God
right.
damn.
Jesus
Right.
Christ, bro.
Right.
I still want to know what happened, right? Like, whoa, so there's a lot that took place.
They were alive when he put him in the tank, bro, because he's like the girl.
When you put them in the fucking tank, one at a time. And
she said, "Daddy, no." I'm like, bro, you a bitch, bro.
Yeah,
right.
And
You a
listen,
bitch,
and
bro.
listen, and listen. He killed this. Listen, he killed his wife in her sleep too. He talking about some. Yeah, she was awoke and she
Right.
Nah,
Dog, you killed her in her sleep. Yeah, you a cold bitch.
Right.
he just
He's a cold bitch.
And he funny. He talking about,
yo.
what did he say? He talking about her wedding ring. I said, this nigga is the phoniest
Yo,
liar.
when you watch that shit back,
The
he
neighbor
talking about
was
some
like,
her only line.
he ain't like that.
Right. He making shit up. He acting funny.
No,
He
listen,
acting funny.
I was defending him at that part. Like the crazy part was T watched the whole shit already, but I watched some of it. I'm like, yo, I gotta finish it again. So we woke up in the morning, put it back on. So she already watching it, but I'm pausing it and I'm giving my little 2 cents. I'm like, how he gonna say that when, of course, he gonna be fidgety? His wife missing. You get what I'm saying? So I was defending boy.
You defending them?
Bro,
Yeah, I was defending that nigga.
we're not even talking about. So there's psychology behind all this shit, right? Your wife came in the house at 2:00 in the morning. Between 2 a.m. and 5:15 in the morning, you killed her, right? Like that's the reality because now or at least what he said because he's the only one that knows the truth. So you killed your fucking wife, put her in the truck, packed your alive children up, took your wife, buried her, and then drove down to some fucking oil things and picked up one of your kids one at a time, and one saying, "No, daddy, don't do it." You throw her in the tank, and then you go back and get your other kid who asked you about her sister, and you pick her up and take her up there and throw her in the tank, and then you're like, "Oh, I'm gonna make it through this one," and then you disenrolled her from school. Call a realtor.
Right.
And what else did he do?
All the suspect shit. All the suspect shit.
Disenrolled her from school, called a realtor. He did some other shit after that, too. It was 3 things that he did. Oh, and then
Yeah, we
text
said,
his
I can't think of the
girlfriend.
third
He
thing.
texts his girlfriend. Like, good morning,
Like, everything
boo.
was
You
regular.
want some Starbucks? Like that motherfucker
Crazy.
deserved to die. Like,
Definitely deserved the death
No, hold
penalty.
on.
No.
I'm gonna tell you. Hold on. I'm gonna tell you the nuttiest shit that y'all just didn't even peep. When he first admitted that he said she killed the kids, and then I just
killed
lost
her.
to kill her. Like, instead of now you caught up, we know you lied. Like, I don't even understand him going to take the test. And none of that shit makes sense to me.
None of
Knowing for
that
a
made
fact
sense. Like,
they're
he
gonna
thought
find out.
he watched too many shows and Google some shit. Like, you could beat the damn
Right.
polygraph. Like,
But just the twist.
yo,
But just the
go ahead,
twist.
go ahead.
When you kill a wife and you killed the kids and you know when you caught, you still gonna sit back here and say, "Oh no, I came in and she killed the kids." Like,
Right.
dog,
Dirty
that shit right there
motherfucker.
is the broadish icing on the cake. Like, dog, instead of being you caught, you know what? I killed all three of them. You know, live in it. You going to actually put it out there and have them say on TV that this woman killed her 2 kids. Like, that's fucked up. That's fucked up.
Yep.
Bruh, and then the cops was playing it so cool. Like, I want that job. They was rubbing him on his back, patting him on his shoulder. Like, just tell the
Hold
truth,
on.
Chris.
What was main man name? What was his name? Chris.
Chris?
If
Chris.
his name was fucking Hanif, that shit don't go like that.
All
They gonna
that-
think it's
like
beef
that.
from the
All
rip.
that shit was
You
smooth,
won't
bruh.
Hanif don't get 3 days. Hanif don't get 3 days to sit back here and we doing all this.
The detective
No,
was like,
Hanif did that.
the detective was like, Chris, just take a deep breath. Come on, let's do it.
Right.
Tell me the truth.
Oh, you want to talk to your dad? Hold on. If you the dad though, first of all, nobody said nothing about a lawyer, bro. Nobody even was like, it's not a
Right.
lawyer, bro. Nigga, even if I'm not guilty, nigga, I'm still lawyering up. Like, that's the first
He
thing
could
we
have
doing.
he could have shut the fuck up and then just shut the fuck up and then made out better than he made out. If he'd have just been quiet and
Yo,
asked
that
for a
shit was just
lawyer.
all he did. He made all the wrong choices.
And I hate the fact that it comes across as like trying to get away with murder, but like this nigga, but he was dumb. Like it was like ignorant dumb. Just like you said, he
No,
Googled some
it's
stuff,
it's
arrogant,
that white
dumb.
privilege.
Yeah,
White
like I can get away with this type
Motherfucker
shit.
lost
This
65
shit don't happen to
pounds and
us,
killed
like,
his fucking wife
that's
and
what it's like.
kids. Like, that shit is insane to me.
I said he should have found the same balls that he found to workout, exercise, and just found them to leave because he was just a punk for killing her instead. He
Yeah,
should have just
that
fucking
never
left.
goes well, yo. I just didn't understand what he was attempting to do or how you thought you was gonna get away with any of this. Like,
All right, yo, real quick, we're gonna run through a couple things real quick before we get out of here. Brian on the Wheaties box, is that major?
no.
You gotta say that again because you broke up.
Braun on the
Oh, my
Wheaties
bad.
box.
LeBron on the Wheaties box, that major.
Who the fuck eat Wheaties?
Right,
I was say who eat Wheaties anymore?
right.
Got
Put
nothing.
that nigga on the Cocoa Puffs box and then we good.
Yeah, put him next to the captain and we might have a conversation, right? You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck.
Solid. Tory Lane's actually charged now with the shooting of Megan Thee Stallion. Will he do time?
Yes.
Yeah, he gonna do some
Yes.
time. He doing time.
Yes.
Real time.
They're gonna make an example out of his ass.
All right.
Send his
Are
back
y'all
to
getting used
Candace.
to? Are y'all getting used to wearing the mask now? I find myself in a place where though that's one of the things. Like my wallet, my keys, and my mask. Just I don't leave the house without them.
Yeah, that's a part of it.
No.
I travel so much, I wear that
I
fucking
ne-
mask all the time.
I hate it. Fucking hate it.
All right. What else I got? Y'all got anything else to put out? Y'all got anything I want to go into before we get out of here? Anything I missed?
Nah.
Good.
Go Ravens.
Jeez. Oh, Dak Prescott, man. Yo, listen, real quick. It ain't even about no team or nothing. I just hate the fact that the NFL has this privilege in this franchise tag where it's though you can get this man to play for one season. Either pay him what he want to get paid or let him go. It's fucked up that, you know, he got franchise tagged and he probably not gonna see his money he was supposed to get now due to this injury.
Yo, we all one injury away from it all ever ending. it's $31 million that he getting this year, and now he gonna get it while he sit home.
And watch.
True.
I mean, you know,
So
it's not league minimum. It's not like he getting motherfucking, you know what I'm saying? On a rookie contract. Like that's
right.
Like if
No,
you send me
he gonna get that
$31 million and I gotta have an ankle surgery, I mean, yeah, he gonna get paid if you know whatever that looks like. It won't be as much as it would have been. Trust that. But I mean, it's $31 million. Do I feel sorry for Dak Prescott? No, I don't.
All right. Well, are we going to get through NFL season the way these injuries is popping up? And I mean, not these injuries, these COVID situations. Do we and how they switching up and changing schedules and all that?
They just postponed another game, right? Patriots Broncos got postponed.
Shit. Yeah, they moved that back. They moved around a couple teams' schedules. The Thursday night game ain't gonna be Thursday night no more. That's gonna be Monday night at 5 p.m. It's a bunch of things going on. It's hard to keep up.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we're gonna get past it. It's I mean, they still allowing fans at the stadiums. They still, well, some of the stadiums, but I think we'll get past it. I think, because I can't see them doing a Super Bowl without people being there, right?
That's
Like,
gonna be interesting to see.
Like last year was a sad like Super Bowl because they didn't have people. You couldn't tailgate at the Dolphin Stadium last year, right? But you're charging me $200, right? So now you're gonna go to Tampa and do the exact same thing. I just can't see it. And it's in Florida again, so no, I don't see it. Them saying, oh yeah, you might have signed a waiver to go to the Super Bowl, but I don't see them not that's too much money.
The hell with the Super Bowl. We just talking about, you know what I mean, getting through the fucking season. Yeah, like it's a lot. I said, they need to start figuring it out in quarantine.
Oh, it just came in. NFL to test COVID-19 on game days now.
See? I don't know what that would stop. Like,
that's too.
Is this Matt Ryan's last year?
No, as a quarterback or in Atlanta.
You know what I mean when I say is this his last year? If it's in Atlanta, where he gonna go to be a backup somewhere, which means he's done, and he gonna do the Joe Flacco thing.
I think he gets another shot with another coach. I think they give him a shot with a coach before they do that.
I don't know. Matty Ice is.
Matt Ryan ain't elite. I'm gonna say it.
Matty Ice be
never been,
but he's solid enough to get you.
Could he start for your team?
So, at one point.
Could he start for your team?
Shit, the way Cousins playing right now, but we still the secondary is terrible.
Your man played one game and you say yeah. It's it's probably the only team you can start for.
Yeah, you can start for my team. Look, I'm ready. I can start for the Jets too. There's a couple motherfuckers out there. All right, y'all. This is Brothers Talking Shit, episode 114. Another great one, fellas. We out here.
Yeah.
We out. Yep. Love y'all.
Love y'all too, man.
Love you.
Love y'all, fellas.